Welcome back, Questers. I got another D&D adventure to share with you all today. This one comes from my home game, and there are 4 players you need to be aware of. We have Auric, the dwarf fighter. We have Gareth, the human cleric of light who breathes fire for some reason. We don't know yet. Kana, the Triton druid, and Dash, the halfling bard, who is also played by my wife. And everyone is currently level 1. Now, before we jump into the story, let me recap a couple things that happened in past stories or past sessions. That way this story makes sense. First thing to bring up is my players took a quest to get rid of rats in a basement. They found the one who was controlling the rats, whose name was Gerald, and he called himself the Rat King. And the party defeated him. How? Gareth stabbed him through the heart, and they didn't want to be too inhumane, so they decided to revive him. And Gerald is just scarred for life. And the next thing is my players, they decided to uproot a guardian tree and bring it to their home base. And now they have a guardian tree at their home base. The guardian tree's name is Oakendew, and he is less than thrilled to be there. And the last thing to point out, they have a point of contact. His name is King Rufus. He's a temporary king, and he's the one that gives the quests to the party. Now, let's jump into the story. The party is celebrating because they just cured the river and they now have a guardian tree. They're so excited to have tourism at their home base. King Rufus comes out of his castle that's not really a castle. It's not even built yet. He has like 3 walls that he calls his space. That's really about it. He comes out of the castle. Oh, you all did such a good job. I'm so proud of you. Now, can we talk about the cultists who are coming to take me as a sacrifice? The celebrating stops. The party looks at Rufus's arm and they see he's been marked. The mark shows a diamond that's been broken in half. The cultists are called the Broken Diamonds. Now, when this is shown to the party asks Rufus, how did this happen? What's going on? Well, I was just, sleeping by my walls, and then I woke up, and then I had this mark on my arm. So they want to sacrifice you, but they marked you to let you know that you're being sacrificed. So they already got to you, so why didn't they just take you and make you the sacrifice now? Oh, you know what? Shut up. So really quick, there's this team called Team Justice. It's 2 gnome paladins, and I based them off of Team Rocket. It's Gideon and Seraphina, and they just got a talking beaver who they're calling Bucky. It's fantastic. I love it. Now, Team Justice was defeated by the party, but then was like, hey, you know what? We're going to offer our services to you, so whenever you need extra help in like combat or something, you let us know. Well, the party has just been sending them off to gather wood, right? That's all they've been telling Team Justice to do. The party is looking at Team Justice and blaming Team Justice for not protecting Rufus. They have been chopping wood and gathering materials for the party to help build up this base that they're living in. And they're blaming Team Justice for not protecting Rufus, when the party keeps sending Team Justice to go get resources. And Team Justice doesn't know any of this because they're asleep. Then all of a sudden, there's this loud dong, and the players all look at the entrance of their home base. And there, they see 5 cultists. The Broken Diamonds have just entered their home base. So the 5 cultists walk to the middle of the home base and they stop. They all have their like incense and they're swinging it back and forth and the smoke is going everywhere. The main cultist says, "The time for King Rufus's sacrifice has come. Give him to us or become meaningless sacrifices." And then Kana asks again, so why didn't you just take him when you marked him? And being the smart DM that I am, one of the cultists replied, well, if we just took him, then no one would know that it was us that took him. I'm very smart. But then Gareth comes out of nowhere and drops this line on me. By the power of the Keeper of Light, which has been granted unto me, I ask you to tell me who the sacrifice is for, so I may go and destroy them in the name of light and justice. Dude, come on. Like, that was awesome. I panicked because I realized I didn't write anything down about who the sacrifice was actually for. And so I have one of the cultists say, we serve the one who asks us to bring the sacrifice. Weirdly enough, no one questioned them after that. So I think I did a pretty good job. But before anything really starts going down, Gareth has the nerve to ask this. Is the main cultist Gerald? You know what? Let's roll for it. I take my D20. I roll. Everyone sees the number. Everyone looks right up at the main cultist. the main cultist pulls back his hood. It's me, Gareth. It's me all along. Gerald. I rolled a 16, all right? And to remind you, Gerald was just a hermit living in a wall who called himself the Rat King. But now all of a sudden, he's the main leader of a cult. The whole purpose of this cult now is so that Gerald can get back at Gareth because Gareth literally broke his heart. So Gerald begins to speak to Gareth. You thought you could get rid of me? No, Gareth, no. Everywhere you look, around every corner, I will be there. I will be watching you. I will be prying on you. I will be hunting you down and destroying everything you love because you destroyed me. You destroyed the one thing that kept me human, and that was my heart. Now I shall take everything away from you. Everything that makes you human. Now, cultists, attack! The cultists all prepare for battle. They roll initiative, and they all go last. The party rolls, and they all go first. Now, two things happen right when we roll initiative. First of all, the players are wondering where Team Justice is at. Well, I roll for Team Justice to see if they're going to wake up, because this is the one moment that they get to actually do what they're supposed to do. I roll a 7. They are still asleep. They will get their time to shine. Now, the other thing is Auric is a dwarf, right? And we have this family of dwarves that are living at the home base because my players went on a mission and stopped 2 merchant families from pretty much destroying each other, but they took one back to their home base as a reward. This family is called the Lockensfields, and they are just a family of dwarves. They're also Amish. Why? Because I panicked and said they were Amish. Auric sounds the alarm for the Lockensfields. The Lockensfields all run up and circle around the players and the cultists. So the cultists pretty much don't have anywhere to go at this point. Dash goes up and stabs one of the cultists in the butt. Why? Because that is a running joke between me and my wife. With almost every character that I've made, her character has to stab one of my characters in the butt. Now, Kana, she uses Ice Knife and freezes 3 cultists in their tracks. Auric bonks a cultist with his nope hammer and knocks him out. It's just Gareth and Gerald left, and they're staring each other down. There's fire in Gerald's eyes. There's light in Gareth's eyes. Gerald charges at Gareth, and Gareth rolls another natural freaking 20 on Gerald. And so Gerald runs directly into Gareth's weapon, and Gareth stabs him in the heart once again. Gerald looks at him, not realizing what happened at first. He looks down, notices not once, but twice, the same person has broken his heart. And as Gerald's vision fades, and the last thing he remembers is him hitting the ground, the other cultists see their leader die immediately, and they all give up. Why? Because I had written down in my notes that the first hit that these cultists would take, they would all give up. Why is that happening in every session I'm doing right now? Because they're also level 1. They're also starting out. These are startup cultists, okay? Everyone needs to start somewhere. Gareth then claims the party's victory in the name of the one he serves, the Light Keeper, and states that no more will Gerald terrorize anyone again. Team Justice goes and revives Gerald. Gareth is like, why would you do that? I state, listen, Team Justice just woke up after this fight, and they see someone who's dead on the ground. It is their moment to actually do something and protect or serve or help someone. And they went, you know what? That person needs help. And so they go and revive him. Gareth's eyes are as big as plates at this point. He can't believe what he's seeing. And Gideon, one of the paladins, looks up at him and goes, you know, Gareth, everyone deserves a second chance. That was his second chance. Seraphina, the other paladin, says, well, everyone deserves a third chance. Everyone at this point is just laughing their head off. And one of the things that gets brought up is, okay, so we got these cultists now. What do we do with them? And then my wife, of course, she would say that. She goes, oh, let's get the dwarves, the Lockensfields, to hurry and build up a jail, and then we'll just throw all the cultists in jail. Well, you know what? I can't argue against an 18 being rolled for that. And so the Lockensfields build up a jail really quick and then throw all the cultists in there. And mind you, Gerald is also in the cell as well. And every night that passes, I roll to see if he escapes. He hasn't yet. I think I've rolled 5 times and they've all been under 10. So one of the things that they're making the cultists do now is they're sending them out to go get more supplies to build up the home base. And this whole time that it's happening, Team Justice is like doing missionary work and explaining how justice can bring people to light and that people can change their ways. And so Team Justice is so happy and they're doing something that they're now pretty good at. And they're teaching other people, like, what the freak is happening? And I don't know why, but Gerald is still with them, but he's in a wheelchair. I don't know why I made him in the wheelchair. I guess when you've been stabbed twice in the heart, it just you need a wheelchair to kind of get around right now. And so the funny part is that every time Gareth and Gerald pass each other, Gerald is always like, and Gerald does the same thing back, like, and then he does this. The party all gets together. They saved King Rufus, and King Rufus is grateful because their reward is a king that is not dead, and everyone is just so happy for that. They prepare for their next quest, which is someone was just framed for a crime they didn't commit by a shape-shifting monster. But that's a story for another time. Bye-bye.